Well, if it weren't for an old friend in Begovich, then Stoke City would have got more from the King Power this weekend. How you're doing? Welcome back to Where Potters Walk, where we look back at all Stoke City games in the Championship. We've got Ryan, Adam, George and Carl to look back on. Oh, it was a frustrating afternoon running into an old friend who turned out to be a little bit of an annoyance in the end. More on that in a minute. We're also talking about Bae Jun-Ho's goal, finally. And more debate on that Man Huff situation. Hope you're all doing well. Great to have Championship football back now, Ryan, uninterrupted Stoke City games for 18 weeks now, all the way to March 27th. You can't ask for more than that. Weekly Stoke City, beautiful football.
If you had said that to me this time last year, I would have gone, no, I'll have the international break. But no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to be back, obviously. Unfortunate yesterday. But we played really well, and it's not, as I say, it's nice to have Championship football back 100%.
Okay, let's get into the game a little bit then, Adam. Their goals. Any issues defensively that you want to raise?
Yeah, it's been the tale of the last few games, hasn't it? I think we've, after a solid defensive start to the season, the last few games have probably seen a few frailties in that defence, and both goals yesterday came from us giving away the ball in not the best circumstances, and unfortunately, despite where they are in the table, they've got players that'll hurt you. They've got players of real quality, which they showed yesterday. Overall, I'm not too disappointed, not too disheartened. Looking at some of their fans on Twitter, X, wherever you want to call it, they're saying we were the better team, one of the best teams to go there this season. So, it's not too bad. Hopefully we turn that around midweek and we get the win. Still sitting third, so you'll have these bumps in the road.
Yeah, Patson Daka hasn't scored, George, in over nearly a year, and it's good old Stoke City, isn't it?
Typical. Their goal, good finish by Daka, to be fair. I think Wilmot did really well to get the ball, but he just got on. Fatawu got the ball off Wilmot and made a brilliant ball to Daka, and obviously Daka chipped over Janssen with a good finish.
Yep. We just lost you sideways there, George. If you want to tip yourself back. Jun-Ho scored. Carl, if Liam was here now, he'd be jumping up and down off his seat. He's been asking for more goals and assists from him. Yeah, we got one.
Yeah, he has improved. He has improved. His form hasn't been fantastic towards the end of the last season. Start of this season, he shows glimpses of what he can do. It's just like other players we've got. It's always been his decision making, and we just want him to get a shot off. And he did well. He's finally got his goal, and hopefully that gives him a bit of a boost. I think Robin says, that feeling he's got from scoring now, he needs him to continue that, take that feeling into it, know how it feels, and hopefully get some more, because he gets in the right positions and he does the right things. So fingers crossed he can carry on now.
Okay.
Yeah, he seems to be getting a bit of a I've seen a lot of flack for Juno these last 2 or 3 weeks, and I think it's undeserved. I think people are treating him harshly because of what he could be. He's one of those Neely men for us. And if he was better, he wouldn't be playing for us. Let's be honest. He's one of them players who was absolutely frustrating like Manoof. And I think fans are getting frustrated with him because he's just not showing that quality every week. But he does a lot of good in that team. He just needs to be consistent. I think that's the only thing he needs. And hopefully this goal will be enough to spur him on to show what he can do for the next few weeks.
Still to come, we're going to talk about the Optus Supercomputers prediction for Stoke City, Mark Robbins' new contract, and Nathan Jones returns, of course, this week as well. Our thoughts on all of that. Begovich, Ryan, pulled off some decent saves there. Was I think roundly clapped when he went to that Stoke City end, but I don't think they were clapping him by the end, were they?
I think the majority, I'd say 98%. Clapped him, but I made my point on X, Twitter, whatever you want to say, yesterday. It was frustrating. He acted like a bit of a baby, to be honest, and he had tussle with Ashley Phillips and Mbama, and the kids, like, what are you doing? Like, you're 38. Like, come on, like. Why are you getting involved in it? And I just thought he had a bit more respect for thingy, but he's a class keeper at the end of the day. So, fair enough. He kept him in the game.
George, you were there. What was your take on all that?
Yeah, he did really well saves wise, but the amount of times he took to take a free kick or getting the ball from the goal kick just took the mick. But yeah, I don't know what happened with Barmer. I think he's grabbing his shirt. I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
That incident.
Yeah,
that incident was apparent because I was watching it. He stood on Begovich's toe, but it looked like more that it was Begovich tussling with him, and as Mbama stood on his toe by accident, and then he's grabbed Mbama Begovich as just unnecessarily, and it's just then from then it was like we got in his head, so he then wanted to delay the game even more.
Yeah.
I think that's what you call being an old, experienced keeper. That is
The
tussling with the 20-year-olds. I mean, as a near on 38-year-old man, there is some 20-year-olds I'd like to slap as well, but I'd never do it. But yeah, I think the take. The taking long with free kicks and goal kicks and that's. If Victor Johansson had done it, we'd have loved it, wouldn't we? Let's face it. It's just experience running a game down when he knew that we'd got the momentum, and it's experience. It's clever. It's frustrating as it is.
I think, as I pointed out, I made myself quite vocal on exercise. He just got in a lot of his heads, to be honest. We were the better team. We shouldn't have lost, and he simply just won the game for his team. Now, when a day later. Fair enough to him, but he's still a legend.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we should have had a point there, but a nice run of home games to come now. Look on paper all the way through now to the end of the year. They all look winnable. Shouldn't perhaps say that, but starting with the two this week, Charlton and Hull. Now, by the time you're watching this, you'll be on your way to the Charlton game. I think already. Adam, what do you make of Charlton, and in particular your old pal Nathan's going to be walking out at the Bet365? What sort of reception might he get, do you think?
He's not going to get the best reception, is he? Let's be honest. He was I think he was a victim of circumstance a lot, as a lot of our managers have been over the last few years. He's a good manager. He's proven with Luton and what he's doing with Charlton now. Yes, he's got a few blemishes on his CV, but I think with that lower level team battling some of the bigger boys, I think he's an half decent manager. We won't get a great reception tomorrow, but I don't think none of us will care as long as we don't see him banging his chest come 10 o'clock on Tuesday evening. Well, I looked at the form table actually before we kicked in. They're obviously sitting mid-table, despite the battering that they got the weekend. Bit of an odd fixture for them. They're mid-table on their away form, and we're mid-table on our own form. So it's got all the makings of a classic 0-0 draw. So I'm just hoping. I think we need 4 points out of these two home games. We need to pick our own form up. We're been better away from home so far this season, and we need to start picking up on our home form.
Yeah. They've got massive loads of injuries, Charlton as well. I don't know if you're aware, but they are down to bare bones in some areas. Ryan, last year Hull City came to the Bet365 and put in a brilliant performance. One of your worst performances, actually, I think, last year. So you owe them as well, don't you, this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we owe a lot of teams from the past 7 years. So, if we can do a job on 9 out of 10 teams this season, then it's brilliant. And, especially, I mean, we did get that away win, but it'd be nice for the home win against Hull 100%. And I think it's definitely doable. And I think the next run of games is definitely, could sit as nice.
Yeah, because into December then, George, we've got Preston at home, Swansea at home, and I think you finished the year with Sheffield United at home as well. There's nothing there that's scary, is there?
No, not really. Preston have been decent this season, to be fair. I put them down this season, but I watched it on Friday night. They were really poor versus Blackburn 0-4. Sheffield United, they obviously had a brilliant season last year, but they've fallen off the park this year. I don't know what's happened to them. And then Swansea, they've been really poor as well, so should really get maximum points in those 3 games in December for me.
Yeah, okay. Supercomputer then for Opticars had a go at saying based on stats and everything where you're going to finish, and they have got you fifth. The 52% chance that you'll finish in the top 6. Yeah, you having that?
I'll take that all day. Like I say, I've been shouting that we'll finish mid-table, and I'm still going by that. I think every team, it's a bad patch of form. Could say that we're having it now because Sorba Thomas is off the boil a bit. We've lost 2 on the bounce. It's just how you come back from these. But if you told me now you'll finish 5th, yes, please, I'll take that all day, every day.
And of course, a big part of that has been Mark Robbins. Adam, he signed a new contract in the international break. Yeah, I mean, that can only bode well for Stoke, can't it? Given that longevity project that we keep hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's obviously been a little bit of noise, and we talked about it on the last 2 or 3 podcasts, haven't we, around those clubs who have been looking. And I find it interesting, actually, that because we're not a club that normally jumps the gun and might worry about another club. And I think all of us said on here that we had no fear of him potentially going. But to reward him as the out for the start he's given us, again, just shows the faith, not only in him, but obviously all his backroom staff have had new contracts as well. So, fair play to the club for tying him down for a little bit longer.
Can I just add to that Mark Hughes was actually the last person to get a Stoke contract in 2013. That shows, what a brilliant job he's doing, and long may that continue.
It just gives the club that stability again, doesn't it? It's that stability and the project and everything. It just settles everybody down. He's not going nowhere. He's here to stay. You're more likely sign players because they'll have played for him before, or they can say, okay, this is a manager that's doing things and he's here for a while. So if he likes me, I'm happy to go there. It's just a great decision, I think.
And he sounds unbelievably happy, to be honest. And all credit is, he's been saying about the club, about us. And I don't think we needed to even worry, even if we didn't give him a contract. As he said in an interview, it was out of the blue. He didn't expect it. So it's
I think it's when you look at the actual, I mean, it's daft, isn't it? When you look at the actual longest serving managers in the Championship, John Mousinho, I think at Portsmouth is the longest serving, and he is probably on a bit of thin ice right now. But I think Nathan Jones is one of the longest serving managers in the league outside of that, and he's been at Charlton for what? Has he even reached 2 years yet? I don't think he has. So just shows how crazy this league is.
Please beat them 6-0 and be the team that gets in the sack. Please. I will run across the pitch doing that.
Okay, right. We'll be back here, of course, next week to review how they've gone against Charlton and against Hull City, of course. So join us for that. We've been doing the A to Z of Stoke City over the last couple of weeks, if you've not been paying attention. We're up to the letter G this week. Before we get there, we've been talking about dodgy goalkeepers because of a few rooks in the Championship last couple of weeks. George, can you remember the worst ever goalkeeper that you've watched in your time to play for Stoke? You've had some good ones, to be fair, in recent years. Was there a dodgy one?
My generation, I don't know. I remember Joe Burst having some dodgy games. Bonham was up there.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Bonham or Bursic for me.
What about the other three of you?
Jakob Haugaard. He's the one, isn't he? Jakob Haugaard.
I was just about to say about Haugaard,
Yeah.
That's the only one that I can remember that was a bit dodgy.
Did he play
we seem to have
play dodgy?
Yeah. We seem to have a good... It's the one position in my probably entire life that we've had a lot of good players from a goalkeeper point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think Gordon Banks. I don't know why, but I think Gordon Banks has a part to play in that. We just, they want to come in and be that Gordon Banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the comments, then, please. Who's the worst goalkeeper you've ever seen? Right then, A to Z, G, please. Anyone, please kick this off.
There's only one answer, but I'm going to go with of my generation, and it's Andy Griffin. He's my. I would go with someone else, but I'll wait for the older lads to mention it. But I'm going to go Andy Griffin. For me, he was, I remember him knocking about when I was 10, 11.
No, sure. I'm not that old, but I know who you're thinking. The older lads will say Jimmy Greenoff. 1972. winner for us. He eventually got that World Cup winning medal as well. He was part of the team, but he didn't play. And we ended up selling him. We didn't want to, but we ended up selling him to get one of the stands done in the Victoria ground because the roof was damaged, so we had to sell him. I never saw him play. I'm not that old, but that is who I think the majority will go with. The younger name for the younger ones that watch, I was going to put in Lee Grant just because he was an absolute class keeper. He stepped in for Butland and he stole the show.
We do have his son with us now, actually, True Grant.
Yeah, True Grant. Yeah.
Okay. Any more G's?
We haven't had. I went through the list earlier, just to spack out one, and we've not had many G's. There's the only one honourable mention, as Carl said.
Okay.
Ben
I
Gibson.
think a player I really liked growing up. Oh God, there's the ever elusive Sam Gallagher, isn't there? The rare spotted Sam Gallagher, but we shan't put him on this list. I think the one player an honourable mention. Not because he was brilliant or anything for the club, but I always seemed to like him as a kid growing up, was Bjarne Gudjonsson. It was part of that Division 2 team that got promoted to the Championship. Of course, he was the manager's son as well in that era, so tough. And I was reading up on him earlier, actually, because I wanted refresh my memory on him. And I actually read up that he actually got transfer listed by his dad at the end of the season because he didn't have the best first season. I think that's probably shows that my memory isn't that great on him, actually. I always seem to like him. I don't know what it was. I always seem to like him as a kid.
Funny story on Bjarne Gudjonsson. He was warming up before the game and he was hitting the ball at the goal. My mate was stood there with a Balti pie and Bjarne Gudjonsson smashed the ball over the goal. He hit his pie and his pie went flying. And in all fairness, he offered get him another pie. So yeah,
really? Okay. Good shouts, all. Right, excellent. Join us next week as we move on to letter H. And if the hippo doesn't get in, there's going to be words. Right. Join us next week for that one. Of course, we'll look back on, hopefully the demolition of Nathan Jones and Hull City. See you then.